Main camera.
Speed.
Nice. Audio.
Audio is rolling right now.
Rolling.
There's one.
Holy. Oh god. Oh god. Nice. We got a whole. Hey, this is
Wait, Bryce, are you filming the back of my head?
All right.
I feel attacked.
That's not on camera.
Oh gosh.
You said what?
I'm just gonna do this one again.
Oh, the back of my head in your face.
There we go. We are recording right now.
All right, we're recording.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not gonna. We can do the intro later, but like the actual intro. I don't know. I was trying to do it again, dude. I don't know how I feel about the one from yesterday.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my podcast.
Huh?
Did you ever watch it?
I didn't watch it now. I just did it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, me neither. I see it.
Fuck it. Okay.
We'll just get to the show, shall we?
Oh, I cussed.
Man. Oh shit, that's really loud.
I cussed.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll have to bleep all that out. Okay. Everything looks like it's working fine.
Alright.
Alright.
Everything's going great. Everything's going good. So we're gonna intro it now. Hey. Okay.
Was there another microphone?
I ate it.
I mean, there's one right there, but.
I don't know if you wanna. Do you wanna use one?
There's 1, 2, 3.
That's
Okay,
4.
They have the 2 right there, but if you can find another cord, then there would be another one.
Von,
That
yeah.
one's broken.
That one's broken.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, he said it was broken. If you were
Right now?
fucking paying attention to what he was talking about.
I'm the one who hasn't cursed yet.
Let's
Fuck.
Fuck.
see.
Oh god.
There.
I did.
Oh, it's working.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
Bryce
God,
can
yes.
be in the podcast.
Are you sure about that it's working? 'Cause
Yes.
It's not coming up very high at all.
Well, I can hear it in my headphones. Yes,
Oh, that's
it is
because you
working.
didn't do this. Yeah, it works fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry, paying attention to what? My studio? Can you tell me how to run my studio?
Is it your
What works in my studio?
Is it his studio?
I think I know better than you.
No, it's mine.
Just go around the camera.
It's not your studio.
Goddamn soundboard.
Clark over here
Studio,
says it's his.
Goddamn. Okay.
God damn it.
It's not broken now, then it is.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's going great.
you made it worse, Bryce.
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna tangle it, dude.
Is there a shot on that? It's
Even
probably in the
more.
background over there.
You're probably in the background, like just struggling.
How is it getting worse?
Just waiting.
No,
Just
yeah,
waiting.
We're waiting right now.
Yeah, just waiting. Just
So, hey,
we're-
what's our first topic? What's
Our first topic are the tardy sweeps.
yeah, tardy sleeps, man. I mean,
Wait, have we started yet?
Yes.
We started? But I haven't introed yet.
Okay, then do the intro.
Right now, while Bryce is struggling.
Yeah, right now.
Make sure
Really?
you
Well, our cameraman struggles with its cord. Let me go and.
make sure you mention the missing hosts.
The missing what? Oh, yeah, missing host.
The missing who?
Who's
the-
that
I'm
guy?
here.
I don't know that guy. Yeah, I don't know who. Who the hell is Kevin, dude? Who the heck is
No,
Kevin?
where is he? Yeah.
Alright, so.
Wait, that could be another topic. We'll talk about that at the end.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm mad at that.
All right.
That could be a segment. Where's Kevin? We'll wait like a song. And like a little
I
pop
mean,
art.
this guy has missed
His
like
face.
200 hours of
Yeah.
school. I mean,
Okay.
I missed that
So,
much.
how
I
how do you
It's
want me to
not
intro
going to
it?
be
How
on
should I
like
intro it?
50%.
I
of
don't
it.
know.
Desires.
What?
However your heart desires. You intro it however your heart wants.
Don't got a heart.
Don't play with me, boy.
Okay. Alright, ready? 3.
I'm recording
Two.
right now. I could turn up your mic at any point.
You should turn up my mic.
All right. So all the way up.
All right.
Alright, 3,
Turn.
2, 1. I was gonna laugh. You just couldn't do that. Alright, I'm gonna say.
Hey, wait. Can you get a little bit closer to the mic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, it's cause I'm trying to like make sure. Can you see me good like right here?
No, Parker's head is blocking
Yeah,
the
see,
half.
that's
You told me to
That's what-
move all the way.
Well, that's because the way we recorded was sitting before was fine, and then
Yeah, like this. Yeah. That's what I'm
you
saying.
like
The
lean
mic
to
is
the
over
left,
here.
and you
Yeah,
lean.
'cause I need to get to the mic.
Okay, I'll let you move the mic over.
I'm okay.
Stupid. You don't need to undo it. Just adjust. Just move it there. Yeah, just like no, but move it in front of the microphone, dude. You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds for what?
He destroys you.
Destroy me.
That's gay.
You the one that said it.
I never said that. I never said that
You hear me
word.
good now?
Yeah.
You hear me good?
I can say you good.
Well, I mean,
You can see me good?
Yeah.
This is perfect. Okay. I'm gonna say.
yes.
Should I say hey everybody? Should I say hey everybody? Welcome to.
What's up, y'all? Welcome
What's
to
up,
the
guys? Welcome to Alpha Visual Productions AVP.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Audio Visual.
Oh no, not productions, podcast. I always say that shit. God damn it.
Audio Visuals.
Okay, I'm turning down your mic. That's too much.
Talking to me?
Yes, turn.
Let's
turn.
just whispering. No, just turn it back up. I'll stop.
Bryce, you're gonna be in the background of the actual podcast, like whispering some gay ass shit.
Actually, wait. Let me lower a few of these.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Shit. Okay. 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Welcome to Alpha Visuals podcast.
I love how you had to think about
What
it.
was the pause? The pause.
So I was gonna say productions again.
You looked at me and I was like, don't look at me.
It's gonna suck. Okay. Anybody else want to do the intro? Anybody else want to do the intro?
Yeah, I could do it. Oh, wait, no, I need to turn up. Yeah,
All right,
yeah, there.
Casey, let Casey do it. Yeah,
Okay.
dude, turn it on because I can't see myself.
This is Hi, I'm Casey. This is the Awful Visuals podcast.
All right, ready?
Can you say that again?
All right, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Hi, I am Casey. This is the Awful Visuals podcast, starring Ricardo Sandoval, Robert Kerr, and Kevin
Who is not
Mendoza. He's
Who's not
never.
here.
He's not going to be here on like 50% of these,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk
And
about that later.
we have a guest,
Parker Nielsen is my name.
Parker Nielsen.
Nice.
Yes.
Parker.
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 Welcome to the show, man.
Oh, we forgot
I'm happy
Bryce.
to be
Oh yeah,
here.
Bryce.
Bryce is
There's Bryce over there. He's our cameraman. Sorry for my mic. It's really gross. Yeah, you can see him in the camera over there. Yeah, he's looking at you now.
Yeah.
You know?
Great stuff, Bryce. Great stuff. All right. Well, let's get this going. Tardy sweeps.
Tardy sweeps. I mean,
What is all this about?
I honestly don't like it. You know, I mean, considering I never had one, but how everyone else is, you know, getting it, especially in the morning. I mean, Casey,
You've been through
Yeah.
it.
You've been
Yeah,
through this.
I don't want to talk about it again.
you've been through this, man. And I mean, what do you have to say about this? Because
Honestly, dude, like, I understand, like, in between classes. That's understandable. But, like, in the morning, a tardy sweep for first period, you know, do they not see the traffic out here right in front of the school?
It's because they get here at 6 in the morning.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some people come here late. I mean, they have other shit.
I mean,
Exactly.
I
Like,
mean, they have other stuff you know to do. So.
I have to take my sister all the way to Side Park, and we're not even zoned to Side Park. Like,
Exactly.
she transferred there. So we leave my house at 6:15. I get her there, but it's that traffic coming down Fry, and I've tried taking
Yes.
other routes because, you know, they're like, oh, let's take another route. I've tried that, and I still...
still doesn't work.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, the same thing with me. My little brother goes to Side Parks. I don't know why he wants to go there, but, like, we're not even zoned to Side Parks. So, he decided to go to Side Parks. He's a freshman right now. So, every morning we drop him off first because it's just closer. My mom just wants to drop him off first. And then by the time we leave his school, it's around 6:50, 7 around there. So, the traffic on Fry by then is, like, horrible.
Mm.
It's already horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible traffic.
Literally, it would probably take, like, 30 minutes just to come to school. But
I want to catch Cheryl walking in late and be like, oh, tardy sweep.
exactly.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it.
you
Casey,
know.
how did your tardy sweep happen before first
I
period?
mean, yeah.
It
It's horrible.
it was horrible. It was
Yeah.
it was pretty damn annoying. It's a complete waste of time in the morning. Like you said, it's understandable to do it in between,
Yeah.
second and
So-
third, fourth and fifth. But whenever you do it from morning to first, from
Exactly.
house to first,
From house to first. You get a tardy sweep from house to first.
that's bullshit. I mean,
Yes, it's good. It's okay. It's okay.
yeah, I'll bleep it out.
Um,
Can't do that.
yeah, I mean, 'cause like literally, like I saw that line. Like I went to the restroom, I saw the line. Like probably like 15 minutes into class already, and there's still a line of like 60 to 70 people out there,
Yeah.
waiting for the tardy sweep.
Were you there whenever I was getting my tardy sweep? I thought you said like you just like left whenever you saw that line of people, or
Yeah, I didn't get it.
yeah,
Oh man. Well, I'm on camera now, but yeah, I just didn't get it.
yeah.
I was just like,
We'll bleep that entire section out right there. Yeah.
cut that out. But yeah, I mean, no, yeah, I was going to the restroom and I saw that, and I was like, that's crazy. That's wild.
But I mean, it's a school, so it's all about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just. It's just I don't understand what are they thinking about like doing it, like how does that help out in any way?
Because they don't get paid after 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock, they stop getting paid. So when the administrators and teachers have to stay for D Hall or DMC and all that after school, they're not getting paid. So this is
It's just no point. In
there's
doing
no
that.
point exactly.
No point.
But-
Then you gotta, and then some of those people who get these tardy sweeps, you never know if they have something after school to do. They could probably be part of a club or, something, and
I have
you're
a
wasting
job.
their time.
Yeah, some
a
people-
job.
yeah, some
a
people have
job.
jobs.
People might have jobs, and you're wasting their time, bringing them to this for no apparent reason. You
Yes.
know,
No
it's-
reason. No reason.
It
at
just
all.
disgusts me. That's all.
And then, like, yeah, but and I also heard like they're not even letting you go to tutoring if you still have D Hall. Like before, like, if you had like regular D Hall, you can sign up, you sign in right, and then you show them your tutoring pass, and they'll let you go, and you come back like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They're not even letting you do that now. Like I heard some kids complaining about it.
Yeah, it's what are you doing?
Okay, Bryce. Yes. 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 My normal tone.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Well,
Uh,
Bryce has interrupted us.
Yeah.
So what about you, Bryce? What about you, Bryce? Have you experienced anything about the tardy sweeps or what?
Tardy sweeps? I haven't had a problem with it yet, but it is not helpful. It's just causing chaos. How you gonna tardy sweep? Every kid in the school, which is like thousands of kids, starts running to their class.
In all different directions. That could cause an injury
injury. It could cause
Or
it.
death.
or death.
Trampling over the kids.
Falling
No.
down the stairs.
Literally, yeah.
Like the shorter people are just getting ran over. Like,
Yeah, like all these big
Exactly.
guys.
they can't
like,
defend
tall guys.
themselves.
Like, and some people are injured. Like I was injured. Can you imagine my ankle was still hurt right now? And there was tardy sweeps. Oh man.
Just
You're
lay on
done.
the floor. Just lay on the floor.
Yeah, I would just wouldn't take it. If only Kevin was here, huh?
Yeah, if only.
Who's Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin?
Go to
Kevin. Wait, make sure you look.
Kevin, I
Make
know.
sure you look into the camera whenever.
Kevin, I know you're watching.
Kevin,
Where are you, dude?
you're not here. You're supposed to be here.
You
And you're
missed
never
like
here.
200 hours already. What are you doing?
And each time you come,
Whoa.
each time you come back, you say you're never gonna do it again, and you do it again every time. Okay.
Every single time. He's over here, he comes back and he's like, oh, nice, guys, I only have this many hours left. And then he misses a whole another day. Plus 8 hours.
He gains those hours back.
Yeah.
All that time worked for
But I mean,
nothing.
It's on him. It's on him, man. I mean, if he has something else better to do than come to school, then
Oh, Kevin.
I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I mean, he gives us like normal, every day, oh, I was late, shit like that. And, like my mom and everything like that. Even though he drives to school himself, and he gives us like weird examples like that. But I'm not completely convinced
Yeah,
that's completely true.
I don't think he's still driving to school right now.
No.
I don't think he lives that far away.
No.
Kevin,
He's running some weird underground stuff. Yeah.
he's like literally, but like and then I want to say something about the flu. The
flu.
that excuse, the
flu. The flu.
The flu. He said he had the
I
flu.
came to school with bronchitis. Like, it's not an
The
excuse.
flu.
It's like he came to school and he was like, "Yeah, I missed this because I had the flu." You missed one day because of the flu. You don't miss just one day if you have the flu.
Yeah, that takes like
You missed
takes
at least
couple-
3 because it stops
Yeah.
being contagious after like the 3rd or 4th day.
I was dead, and I still came to school. I wore the same outfit for 4 days.
And bronchitis is extremely contagious.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I've been through both.
There you go. Well, that's Kevin, everyone. That's Kevin.
I'm sure he's going to come up again in this podcast. But
Yeah, but
oh,
yeah.
so we already. What was our first topic? It was
Tardy sweeps.
tardy
We got
sweeps.
done with that one.
All right. The second one. What do we got?
Um,
now?
Why don't you
Um,
folks go ahead.
And we got the where's Kevin.
Yeah, we also got the Where's Kevin one. We already got that.
Yeah.
A little quick short one.
Prompting.
Yeah, why don't you guys
And,
go ahead and talk about this?
so the prompting. All right. Well, this really doesn't affect Robert or Casey. They're not really seniors. This is more of us three.
You know, so.
Yeah.
But it's good to just listen. to
Right.
this.
This prompting, the scandal,
Wait,
the scam.
what's the theme? It's like,
It's Masquerade.
yeah,
It's
masquerade.
classic masquerade.
And we wanted the casino night, right?
Everybody wanted casino.
Everybody voted casino. Yet it somehow came out Masquerade.
Somehow.
Here's what I'm thinking. They put it on the ballot, right? And then, Cheryl, being who she is like, oh, casino won. No, you know what? That's not really influencing good behavior because gambling and it's an addiction to some people. And she's probably addicted to something weird. So that's what I'm thinking is that they saw it was casino night, and then they were just like, oh, half these
Yeah.
kids aren't even allowed to gamble. Then why put it on the thing in the first place?
Exactly. But
We got our hopes up.
It was the best one we had.
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
4 years
That's what I was
ago.
about to say.
It was the #1 prom.
it was
Everyone
like
talks
supposedly the
about.
best prom that everybody talks about like 4 years ago, and it was casino. So
They
everybody
won't
wanted
give
the
it back to
casino
us.
again.
They won't give it back to us.
You might want to get a little bit.
Might want to get a little bit closer to the mic.
Is it good enough for you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So yeah, man, this prom thing. And then that girl posted that thing on Twitter, the little poll on Twitter.
Yeah.
What happened? I didn't see that.
Someone posted a poll on Twitter to find out whether or not it was an actual scam. Over 96 people voted. 81% said that it was a scam.
81%.
The other 19%
Actually,
said they actually voted
I
for
think I
it.
could pull it up right now, probably.
What a time to be alive. I hate this school. I really do.
Honestly.
And can we talk about how expensive prom tickets are?
Exactly.
$70. Well, to be fair, they're a lot cheaper than they are at other schools. I was talking to someone that
$70?
I was talking to someone that goes to
$70
Cy Woods, and their tickets are $120.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, but
that is just
Christ.
necessary.
honestly,
I mean,
like
a prom is a once in a lifetime thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like one of the things to do.
to
while
some
you're in high
people,
school.
some people have been going to prom since freshman year. Some people have been going to prom since freshman year.
I've been dating the same girl since freshman year, so.
Yeah. But
I've been dating myself since freshman year.
okay.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
right.
boys.
Alright, yeah.
But yeah. So like literally, this girl posted that poll on Twitter, and like 99, like you said, 90 something people voted, and like 81% voted for that it was a scam, and everybody like they voted for casino, and then it was like 17% voted for
19% voted
19?
saying that they actually chose
19%.
Classic Masquerade, which we've had for 3 years now in a row.
I'm just glad it's not Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
That's every wedding, every cruise.
How would you even do Great Gatsby?
Like-
The Roaring 20s.
The Roaring
theme.
20s, yeah.
Aren't you just gonna go in a suit anyways?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the themes don't really affect anything. It's just
You go in a casino, you wear a suit. You go in a masquerade, you wear a suit with a mask. Go in the Roaring Twenties. You wear a suit.
With a cane.
Yeah.
With a cane.
Well, they'll probably take it from you.
Or and
Both me and Robert
No fedora.
don't know anything about
The big feathers.
You'll definitely catch me in a fedora.
we don't know anything about
It's a promise.
the prom thing. So we're just over here and we're talking about this. They're over there.
Honestly.
Actually, let's lower this and let's both talk.
Yeah.
But, like,
All right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so expensive
So
because
so
I am
what do you
taking
think
date.
about all this?
So that means I have to spend.
This
70.
prom thing. Do you even go to prom?
I
Both
mean,
of us.
not
That's
this
just-
year.
It's like 70
Probably
and
next
70
year.
again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a discount if you buy two
Year,
tickets.
I mean, you might as well do it.
Nope.
You should probably start
It
doing
was.
that.
That's what it was
Oh,
supposed to be
just
for
like-
homecoming too, but this year they're like no.
But I mean,
And it's
yeah.
because they spent all that
But
money on
I
the
just, I don't know.
stupid
I mean,
Panther
I kind of agree
statue.
with them though. It is kind of stupid for, you're going to a prom that you didn't, a prom theme that you didn't actually vote for, and it's just, it's wrong. And hopefully next year, me as a senior, if that
They were
happens,
going to Six Flags.
I might feel the same way, I mean, it's prom. I mean, it's like once in a lifetime, It's something that you should go to, while you're in high school, if don't do anything else, but I mean, it's whatever though, so.
It's whatever though.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. We're done. We're done.
Did they turn us down so they could talk to themselves?
But
No.
anyway, the next topic. Now this one is very
A little bit
serious.
iffy. A little
This one's a
serious.
little serious. Let's talk about these school shootings. What's been happening this year so far.
I don't know if we're gonna include this in the podcast, but
Yeah,
I mean,
we can
this-
talk about it.
Just saying, this is just like a.
I mean, so far there's been 18 shootings since January
There's been
1st.
more than that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's been 18
18 school shootings.
since
Oh, yeah, yeah.
since
Told you about
since
our
this year.
security.
18 mass school shootings.
Since this year.
My bad.
Since
18
2018. and
mass
stuff.
Mass school
school shootings.
shootings.
Yeah.
Because
Not including regular shootings.
Oh, no, no,
Or like just
no,
one or
yeah.
two people dying in the school.
Yeah,
It's-
not.
These
Mass.
are mass school
Yeah, these are
shootings.
mass
Okay.
school shootings since 2018. 's happened.
And
Okay,
wild.
I mean, my thoughts on this is, I feel like schools should be more secured. I feel like, we shouldn't allow this kind of stuff to happen. I mean, if there's a sign of somebody who's gonna say that they're gonna shoot up a school, I mean, be on that, be on top of that, because these kids. I mean, kids are kind of scared now to go to school just because of all this stuff happening, and and it starts all the way back from 1999 with the Columbine stuff, and I feel like that started all of this, and it's just. It's just very heartbroken, because some of those kids, they're all traumatized now, they get to see all their friends, dead.
And you can't even do nothing at the
yeah,
in the
you
moment.
can't- in that
All
moment,
you gotta do is
can't
run out.
nothing.
You're
Exactly.
running out. You're running through the hallway. You see all the windows broken, blood everywhere, and then it's just you see friends on the ground. Just
Yeah,
you see your friends on the ground. Just
and then I think,
to walk in on.
yeah.
that's
Like now you have no friends.
exactly.
exactly.
a lot of the kids are protesting, like they're not going back to school until they make laws.
Exactly.
Or better gun laws. Because even who's 18? Me and Bryce are 18.
I'm 17, about to be 18.
Did you
I think
make
it's
Ricardo?
maybe just me, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
Megan.
me and Bryce, we can
Open
walk.
carry.
Yeah, we can walk into a
16.
pawn shop.
Oh.
Dang.
Oh, camera died.
But anyways, but me and Bryce, we could walk into a pawn shop and ask, "Can I purchase a gun?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, let me see your ID."
And swords. We can carry our own sword. I could walk somewhere. with
You
a
do
sword.
you have a sword?
Yeah, I have a sword. I have a sword. I have a legitimate sword. It's
man has a
a
sword.
sword from a game, and it's sharp, and it's awesome.
I'd actually. It's kind of controversial, but I'd much rather see.
Bryce with a sword than a gun. Me too.
Or yeah, sure, yeah. Instead of there being a school shooting, I feel like it would be a little bit cooler if there was just a school guy running around with a sword.
That could happen here. Bryce has a sword.
Yeah. Well, at
First,
least,
first person to go is
Yeah.
Chase.
at least we know who it is now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
We could prepare.
exactly. We can
You
He's
prepare.
sitting right over there.
You see me throwing it?
Yeah, but
But yeah, I mean, back on a serious note, like for real, like it's horrible. It's horrible.
yeah,
It's pretty bad.
Isn't it isn't a fact that we average one school shooting a week? I think I read that somewhere.
Population control.
Okay.
No need for you to bring up your satire, dude.
But yeah, we average one school shooting a week.
Yeah, it's 78.
Yeah, I mean, and then, I've been recently, looking at the news lately about this stuff, and, even out here, there's threats and stuff about it, and, these guys think it's cool, just to go to a school and shoot kids up, who's just innocent, and, those kids were innocent, they never expected, something like this to happen. I mean, I wouldn't expect something like this to happen. You just going to school and then you just hear gunshots and stuff. I mean, it's a scary feeling. Yeah.
Even that one time last semester before break, and it was second period, and everything like this, those sirens came on, and then Miss Rogers goes, "This is not a drill." That's whenever I was like,
"Yeah,
oh, we're dead."
Yeah, that was pretty scary. That was pretty scary.
With some of the kids I know in the senior class who have said things about shooting up the school or hurting someone, I was still like shocked, but I still wasn't surprised if it were to become a shooting. And with the kid who says he's going to shoot up the school, the administration doesn't take him seriously, and it's because he does have some special needs. But I mean, he's 18. It's still possible even for him to go in and buy a gun. Like this one, I saw this on Twitter. This one guy was like, "This is how bad gun control is." He's holding this huge gun, and he's like, "I'm 18, and my license is expired, but they still sold me the gun."
Exactly, man.
And you not talking about the fact that you can buy a rifle, you can buy a semi-auto rifle, but you can't buy a pistol when you're 18. They will sell you a rifle, but they will not sell you a pistol until you're like, what, 20, 21?
Yeah.
So around there?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
So, and even though there's attachments that you can buy for that semi-rifle to make it an automatic rifle, and that's legal.
Right.
But having an automatic rifle isn't legal.
Right.
I feel like something there doesn't tie together right.
Not really.
And then
America
most of the
doesn't
time,
have it,
I mean,
Nice.
now with all the social media
I
and
was gonna
stuff,
say something really bad.
idiots like them will post pictures of them with these guns, holding them, saying, I'm gonna shoot up school, and I mean that should be a sign, and
But
just always be cautious.
Because the other thing is, like, a lot of people nowadays, they do mess around about stuff like that, but they're never serious. But you never know if they're messing around.
Yeah, but
or
you
not.
never know, cause
And like somebody could like I saw this picture, I think it happened here in Texas or something. Like some kid posted a picture of him holding a AR and on his Snapchat saying, "You thought that was a school shooting? Wait for this one," or something like that. But he didn't do it. They caught him the next day and they arrested him or something.
exactly.
And then in Maryland, an Asian kid, I think, in high school, I think he got arrested too because he like took pictures with his dad's AR and ammo. So they went to go find him and they took the AR and the AR was his dad's, and also found a lot of ammo and like so he's in jail now.
Exactly.
It's like stupid decisions. It's like
Exactly.
what's the point of them?
Yeah, I really don't get it though. I mean, you're putting yourself, you're doing that, you're putting yourself out there, you're just gonna get yourself in trouble, and it just makes no complete sense.
At that point, you're just asking for to be arrested.
Exactly. And it's out, and they're
What are you in jail for?
dumb. Just dumb.
Had to take a selfie.
I took a selfie holding a gun.
I take a selfie holding a gun, saying I'm gonna shoot up the school.
And then,
Okay, I gotta say, both of you are like extremely far away. Like it's just been like
really quiet.
it's been a little quiet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet.
But then me and Bryce, we get really close to each other.
It's weird.
You're gonna have to get,
We'll just get closer whenever we have to
Just-
talk to it.
okay, since you're not behind the camera anymore, just
Yeah, go
that-
get your
go
mic.
Get your microphone, man.
Oh my god.
I even muted the microphone since no one is using it. Okay, here it is. It's finally back
I
on.
had it just set up behind the camera. It was like I had it set to where I didn't even have to grab it.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
You
I
good?
did that on purpose.
I know you did.
Jesus Christ.
I 100% did that on purpose.
But to end this topic, I feel like schools should be more secure now. I feel like schools should be on,
Not
on
even,
these
not even
kids.
just school, just the whole
Yeah,
the
just
laws.
The laws,
Yeah.
Like
The laws.
The laws.
Like
The law.
DE laws.
the laws.
D laws.
The
The laws.
The
Like the one from the Fairly Odd Parents, the book they had.
Yeah.
Their rules.
The
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah, the rules.
The
laws,
rules.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, like honestly, we should really just. And then a lot of people are voting against it too. Like they could agree with it, but they're voting against it because
they
just-
want their guns.
they want the guns.
They
And
want
also,
the
it's not
guns.
just that they're not reading enough. They're thinking that we're just trying to get like all guns just like out of here. That's
No.
not even the.
No,
That's not what it is.
We're
just
trying to
get-
make it harder for people to buy
Exactly.
guns.
Yeah.
So you think the age
Especially-
limit needs to be 20, like
especially
after you
younger
graduate?
people. Especially
No,
younger
21. If I can't get drunk until I'm 21, then I shouldn't be able to have a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's how I feel like, I mean, I'm fine with people having guns. Like, shooting guns is pretty fun if you ever do it sometimes.
I've done it.
Yeah. I have.
Shooting range. It was,
Yeah.
Robert, have you ever shot a gun?
No. I
Okay,
never
me
shot a
too.
gun.
Make sure it was the
I,
other
ne-
one.
I never shot a gun.
It's
I mean,
fun-
I shot a
it's fun
paintball
to
gun,
do.
but
and it's
it's
pretty.
nothing.
It's
But-
pretty fun, but like.
But I don't think it should be okay for just like a teenager.
exactly.
If you have a teen coming after whatever number is your age, I don't think you should be able to buy a gun.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
'Cause
Most brains aren't done developing until 25 to 28 years old. So
just not the best idea.
Seriously.
Also, like they need to make sure nobody, not in the right mind, should
Yeah.
get a gun.
I mean, yeah, especially if somebody got like mental issues, you
Mhm.
know.
that the kid who shot up the school in Florida.
Yeah, he had mental issues.
And the
A
thing is,
troubled child at the
Exactly.
age of
Yeah.
19.
Exactly.
You're still
not a
calling it a
child.
child.
exactly, you're not a child.
but
Exactly.
should being troubled or having any type of mental issue lower the punishment in any way?
No.
No, I don't.
He
I-
still
No.
killed 17
He's
people.
killed. Yeah.
You know he's not going to jail, right?
What?
He's not.
Remember
he's
the
being
guy-
sent to a mental asylum.
Remember the guy who got I think he shot up a
should
school
never
or
be-
something. He
should never
bailed
Be in front of people. again.
35K.
He should be locked up.
Oh, yeah, him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, they got him. So they had the trial and they were saying his bail. He had a bail. He actually got a bail, or something, for only 35K for
Who?
killing 17 kids in a
Who
high
will
school.
bail him out? That's. Then I say they're worse than him. You're bailing out a guy who just killed
A
17
mass
people.
murderer.
A
You're
mass
bailing out a mass murderer.
Somebody who literally just killed 17 teens.
Just ended 17 lives. One of those kids
Not
could have
only
been flying
was
cars.
just- He didn't just kill 17 people. He also almost killed probably 100 more.
Yes, a
'Cause-
lot of many injured also.
Have any of y'all seen the videos?
Yes. Oh
No.
my God, those videos
I
are
haven't seen
horrific.
them.
You haven't seen them?
Haven't seen him yet.
Well,
they're
there's this-
terrifying.
Yeah, there was this news thing I watch on Snapchat that's just like I'm just going through whatever, it'll pop up and I'll watch it, and like it was the day after, and it was like we're gonna talk about this, so warning, these videos are pretty
Yeah.
scary,
Yeah.
and I was
Pretty-
just like, okay, I didn't think it'd be that scary, but it's like you're in the hallways and all of a sudden you just hear bang, 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 and then you hear everyone screaming, just drop, and it's just like
Why drop?
To
Yeah,
the
then-
floor. They all just
One of
all
those
just-
kids was near a door. Should have ran up.
It was in the middle of the hallway.
Like in the middle hallway, in the
main
middle of the
hallway.
school.
Got
Like
there was no doors.
imagine being like
In the middle
Right
of
here.
passing periods, in the middle of where the commons and the front doors meet.
they're like in the main hallways, and like even like it's not even just that. Like I saw this other video where the kid was they were in the classroom all up in the corner by the teacher's desk. He was
Yeah.
on Snapchat saying, like he was on, at first it was all quiet and it was just you could just see their feet and you could see like the rest of the classroom and computer screens. And then the caption that says, "My school's being shot," but at first like 3 or 4 seconds you don't hear nothing, and then you just hear like 4 or 5 shots being fired and into that classroom, and you just hear like everybody screaming and it's really terrifying.
Yeah, and then in some of those videos, you can like they blur it out though, but you can see like bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, bodies.
You can see the
on the
bodies.
ground.
And
See
they
the
think just because you
bodies.
blur it doesn't mean like
And
You never know what it is, but
Our school thinks that the way we need to handle this is everyone crowd in a corner of the classroom
yeah.
while the
I'm sorry,
teacher
Corn.
stands by the door.
Which
Some of these
they won't
teachers-
just shoot through that door.
wait, we need to send a message out.
And blast
Make sure you
it.
look at all the cameras and send a message out.
What message?
That's not how you do it. That's not what you're supposed to do whenever there's a guy shooting. You don't go hide in the corner. That's the worst thing you can do.
That's the worst possible because then you have no escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, and I've seen some stuff. I've heard like some recordings of people being in a school shooting, and you're scared, and you're just hearing
You just hear-
shots going around.
You're hearing the shots being fired. You're hearing people screaming. You're seeing people fall to the ground, motionless. You're seeing blood everywhere.
And it could be your friend. I mean, your
Exactly.
best friend that you've been knowing for a long time, and you see something happen like that.
Exactly. And then
It
also
haunts you, man.
this girl that survived the attack.
With the shaved head.
Yeah, her.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, her. But I was talking about some other girl. I don't think she stood up like that. But this other girl, they got her messages with her mom while it was all happening, and it's like some really sad stuff. Like it's like
Yeah.
she's saying some like mom, and like she's like, mom, I know I've been like the best daughter or something, but I just want you to know I love you. Like that stuff really
Yeah,
sucks.
that
It hits you in the
is-
heart. And, like,
Especially for the parents too, because you're at home and then you get a text message from your kid saying the school's getting shot up, and you're like, you don't know what to do.
There's nothing you can do.
nothing you can do.
Nothing.
Nothing. You could try to like pull up to the school, but you know,
But
it's just no point in doing it.
Yeah, no point.
And that's why we have IDs. A lot of people think IDs are stupid and it's only for buses and lunches. But if there's a school shooting, it will make it so much easier to find the person who did it if it's from an outside person. Because we all have our IDs and we show that this is us, is like we
Yeah.
come here, then there'll be a likelier chance of them questioning us for the reasoning why. And it's also just to make sure like it is for safety. Even
Yeah,
though I
it
do hate all the administration staff members here, but when they're like, make sure you wear your IDs, it's for safety. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't wear mine, so I don't
Especially
like
for a situation like that.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, but also the thing is like, most of the time it's not even
If you
somebody.
don't stop, I'm gonna turn down your mic. You're not gonna be able to say anything.
Listen, it was an accident. I was checking the time.
Okay.
But also sometimes it's not even like an outsider.
my hand
It
on
could
the back.
literally be just a student in the school. So even with the
Exactly.
ID, they're gonna walk in.
Especially
And then also I heard them talking about how you can't, like, they won't be able to bring a gun into the school. And
What
then we
is
were
that?
just like, yes, they can, because in the mornings when everybody's supposed to come into the school through the front, those two main doors, they're not the ones with the metal detector. The one with the metal
Yeah.
detector is the one on the right for when you're tardy or something.
Mm.
That's the one with the metal detector.
exactly.
So they can easily bring a gun
Don't
in
make
here.
me
No,
go down there.
they can easily bring a gun like into the school with like.
Don't make me go down there.
Were you here sophomore year?
Yes.
You're Robert, you're a junior,
Yeah.
so it would have been your
freshman.
freshman year. I don't know. Do y'all remember when all those fights broke out and we were on lockdown for 2 weeks?
the riots.
Yeah, with the riots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, bro. That was a
That
crazy year.
was crazy.
Now
that was
that
a crazy year. Bro.
that's what really.
Wait, there was riots.
Yes.
Yes,
There
yes.
was literally
That was a crazy.
all in
year.
one day. There was about at least 20 fights.
Yeah, and it was in like, and it was all at the end of the day, and we were on the news. It wasn't cool. Like for, like, if so, you know how teachers have conference periods for like Mr. Thompson's sixth period. So whenever all this happened, his sixth period, he had to go down to the front office, and say if I need to use the restroom, my teacher had to press the call button. They would send someone and escort me to the restroom,
That's how it was. That's
and
how
it was
for
one
2
person at a
weeks.
time,
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2
bro,
whole
that
weeks.
was-
For
And
like 3 days we didn't have first period.
Yep.
That was crazy.
For like, and then also, during at the same time. Okay, so what had happened was like what really started was like the riot that happened in school. Like probably was it during like right after lunch or something?
Mhm.
There was a big crowd. Literally, the cops couldn't even get into the fights, and it wasn't just it was like 5 fights happening at one time, and it was like all the students crowding them, so the cops couldn't do nothing. They couldn't get through. I was upstairs and I was just watching it from like the top, and I was like, this is wild, and like, and then after that, throughout the day after that, there's like more fights and fights and fights, and after school there was like at least 15 more fights, like all right after school, and then it was just wild, dude.
And it was like people. It was a bunch of gang activity. That's all it was.
Bunch
All
of-
this was.
yeah,
It was
gang
just gangs.
activity.
And
And-
so all the members that were older and out of high school, because you know it's cool to be in a gang after high school, they would come into that. That's another thing too. That's why we had so much security, because they started coming in. They were coming in after school to be a part of those fights, and it was like whenever we had all that security, like it made me feel safe, but also made me feel very unsafe.
Exactly.
Our producer's looking at us right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just pause. We'll just
Yeah,
pause.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well,
I was wondering y'all through because I need
This one? We got like one more topic.
So, but yeah, man, I remember that year. That was
That was wild.
crazy. There's, like,
Literally,
fights every day.
We couldn't bring our own lunches.
We couldn't.
My mom made me a lunch, right? And they would, for 3 days, we would have to come in through the side doors.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. We had to come in through the side door. I remember
They
because
would search our bags.
the
Why do you
day
think they
right
added
after,
another door at the front and locks on all the doors?
Yeah.
and like the day right after, right? The next day after all that, that's when it really started.
Hmm.
Excuse me. But it was like so like the day right after we came and I see everybody trying to go to the front and then like the AP like nope, they're like pointing to the sides, and I looked to the side like everybody's have to go through that small door, all the small doors on the sides, and right through the doors, it's just like these kind of tables just like in a row, and you have to put your bag on them and like they're gonna check. They actually check your stuff as if you were like in an airport, and then you have to go through a metal detector.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where my brother was during all this, because he didn't tell me about any of this at all. I never heard anything about this.
Yeah, no, but this is literally what happened.
You're
like-
living under a rock, my guy.
He just like came home and just like normal, just like so. Yeah.
Anything happened at school today? Nah, it's regular.
No, I just got my bag searched. I got a metal detector put on me. You know, with the random
They
metal detector
took
searches they used to
My
do.
lunch, because it was in a brown bag, and they took it.
Can you not at least
What they do
open
with
the
it?
bag to see what's in there? Like,
They did. They opened the bag and they're like, "We don't know what's in here. We don't know if there could be drugs in here." And I just looked at them and I was like,
Yeah, I got my
It's a
5 kilos of
sandwich.
cocaine in there. Just don't take it.
I
It's
bet they
sandwich.
were just like hungry. They're just like,
"Yeah, I know."
Just
So
take
I always hold it. I
you
always
just,
go
like,
to Cheryl. I'm
eat-
like, "Don't forget, you owe me a sandwich."
Mhm.
But if she ever gives me a sandwich, I'm not gonna eat it. By the way, I hate her.
But yeah, man, like freshman year, that was like
Exposed.
That was Dr. Henry's first year.
I saw
everything-
that was like the
everything-
most
Shit
fights
hit
I
the
saw.
fan.
that's really why it happened though, because it was her first year and she was just, everything was going like everything she was doing was like not good. Like I like everybody felt like it was like as if she was trying to make this school AOC or
A
something.
prison.
No, she loves to be in control of things that she can't be in control of. So that's what this whole thing was. And I remember one time during the announcements, I bet y'all remember that.
Mhm.
And
I
it
She
was
said,
record that. It
Yeah.
is because she was yelling. She was yelling at the news people, but yelling it at all of us because it's all our fault that,
yeah,
she let this happen.
yeah,
And so
I remember
all
that.
these news people were outside the school and they were interviewing people, but they were interviewing alumni. And it was people who graduated from like 2008, 2010, like no one who was in the school when it happened.
exactly.
And so she went like on this whole tangent for about like 8 minutes in the announcements, and everyone's just like, "It's too early for this."
Honestly,
And she
Second
goes, "Record
period.
that," and hangs up the intercom.
Like,
second period. You know
Sound
the
like a
announcements now,
child.
right? The announcements now, you know how like probably like from 2 to 5 minutes, literally like 8 minutes of us just quiet listening to her talk, and with her ending it, record like yelling into it, like record that, and then just literally just how.
and
just how
it wasn't
quiet
once or twice that she did it too. It was continuous. She did it for like a whole week. Just as soon as she, yeah. And by the way, we won this. Record that. Boom.
Oh yeah. She was like, "Here's a list of all the students that are getting scholarships," and she went through the entire list of seniors that are getting scholarships.
Which took up like 15 minutes of class.
Exactly.
and then they
hate
get mad at us
her.
for not being able to finish the work.
dude, yeah. I always knew that people hated Dr. Henry, but I'm glad I heard this because I never knew why.
Yeah.
really.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot today. I love this. This is
She did
amazing.
a bunch of legal stuff like regarding me and my whole situation with, being openly like transgender and stuff. So instead of her talking to me about it, she called my mom, emailed all my teachers, had a meetings with several teachers, Miss A,
Mm-hmm.
and then got mad at me because I was ignoring her because I found out Miss A tells me what happened. And so I ignore her because I would just get so angry because it's none
Yeah.
of her business.
It
And
is-
so then-
she's just a principal. Like whatever happens in our out
Our
of school
lives,
lives,
right.
like, our actual lives
It
shouldn't
affects
matter.
her.
You're
yeah.
a principal, not a therapist.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
then, on top of all of that, she gets upset that I'm ignoring her. So she walks into my 6th period and comes and singles me out in the middle of a test. And so then I was like, you know what, this is it. Like, I'm done. So I went and I dropped like this whole binder on her, and I was just like, these are my rights as a student. All the things I highlighted are the laws that you have broken, and I could sue you for. And she was like, oh, I thought you and I had a good enough relationship because I used to make videos for her. And I said, nope, we had a good business relationship. If you want any videos done, you email Mr. Thompson. I'm not making videos for you anymore.
Wow.
You know it's a crazy, you know it's a crazy thing too. Talking about alright, so
Just the way she looks. Ugh. Okay.
so
Alright.
I never knew all this until now because I had her as a principal in middle school.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because I went because I didn't go to middle school around this area. I was somewhere else, and it was the Campbell Middle School.
Mhm.
It was in the same district, and she was the principal there.
This only happens to you.
So
Every time it's been you.
So yeah, she was a principal back in middle school, but she never really was,
Wait.
like how
Wait.
she is now.
Wait.
She was kind of like,
You're looking away from the microphone. You gotta.
okay. But yeah, this is pretty.
Okay, but
It's pretty crazy though.
And I think she's like this because instead of in middle school, it was because a lot of us are adults,
Yeah.
certified adults.
Basically.
And a lot of these adults are doing bad things. So.
but were you gonna?
But and another thing too is like every year, this school somehow gets on the news
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah.
Every year, the whole incident with the teacher, the student.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
that
just
happened.
found out who the student was,
Yeah,
and he's back.
yeah.
Who?
He's in my
Wait,
seventh
who's that?
The
period.
kid that slept with Miss Sheffer is back.
He's in my seventh period too.
Oh,
He's in my seventh period. I didn't even notice until somebody in my class told me that. He's in my
Go give that kid a high five.
And also the thing is,
she looks like a crack addict. Are you serious?
Yeah.
the thing is, like,
Especially
I don't know
now.
who she is.
like
I'm not gonna
there
lie.
could be
That's
like
she's a
literally
sex
like
offender.
there could be like one or two kids that make horrible decisions that go to this school
And
and
it
we
ruins everything.
all get punished for it. And like,
Yeah,
cause
exactly.
I remember this. I'm not gonna say no names, but this one female. I was pretty close with her like sophomore year. That's when I first entered this class. I was pretty close with her, and like, she was a nice girl, but like, she was hung out with the wrong crowd. And like, one day, like, was it last year? Like, she was part of. They committed capital murder.
Oh, I
Mhm.
remember.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Wait, what is that again?
Capital murder is like the highest,
Highest, yeah.
highest murder you can commit.
And it was in front of Studio Movie Grill, right?
In front
The
of Studio
one in
Movie
Highway
Grill.
6.
On Highway 6. They were making a drug deal. There was like a drug deal going on. So instead of just taking the drugs and paying him for it, they took the drugs and wanted more. So they killed him. And then they got caught. And now I don't know, I forgot what happened. I don't know if she's serving life or anything, but that's capital murder. That usually gives you life for that.
Oh wow.
Wow. She came here.
Yes,
It's
she
a
came
shame,
here.
dude. You
she was in
gotta-
our grade.
You gotta know who to hang out with and who not to hang out with.
Exactly,
Like,
man.
I mean, I hang out with.
you're not gonna hang out with the guy
Exactly.
that sits in the corner screaming at
Well,
weird things on the computer wearing a trench
What's
coat.
the time?
Are you
It's
adding that
12:16. We have to wrap it up soon.
No. Okay. Oh, what's the last topic?
So we can talk about movies or immigration.
Or immigration, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
I want to say movie. Let's go back to a
Let's go to movies.
A lighter
brighter,
mood.
A
brighter,
brighter
mood
mood.
before
Yeah.
we
My
end
dad's
up
an
this
immigrant. My
podcast.
Yeah.
stepdad's an immigrant.
We're on
Yeah,
about
my
a 15-minute
parents are
cut right
immigrants.
now.
We're the only
Yeah.
ones that would be able to talk about that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really want to talk about it. But okay, yeah, we can go to movies.
We can
We
do
have
that next
13
week.
minutes.
Yeah,
Mm.
next week.
Okay. Let's talk about any movies. you
Black
like.
Panther
Black Panther.
being the newest and most popular movie to release.
Yeah. I mean, it's breaking box office records right now.
It broke it broke Star Cinema Girl records, selling
You
I
haven't
think
been
over
open for that
215
long.
million
Mm.
just over the weekend.
Dang.
Over the weekend
Well,
plus
was it-
Monday.
Did it come out Friday, like officially? Like
It came out
It came out
Thursday night
Thursday
at
night.
7
It comes out
o'clock.
Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Thursday
That's
at
the
7.
midnight show.
okay, so yeah, on Friday, I drove by because I was coming back from playing basketball with some friends, and we were on the car, and they were like, "You trying to go see the movie?" And I'm like, "I don't know, it's gonna be packed." And he's like, "Let's drive by like Star Cinema real quick." So we drove by. We were on Friday, just driving by. We looked, literally no parking spots at
It
all.
sold out.
And then Whataburger was packed too with the parking spots.
Yeah, people were parking at Whataburger and walking over to Star when I was working there. And I would look at the screens and they show you, how many people are sitting there in that
Yeah.
theater. every single theater was glowing bright red. 179 or 178 out of 180 people in the biggest theaters we have.
And then when I went to go see it, I had to like sit in the front because it was
The
so.
very, very front.
Yeah, I had to sit in the front and I had to look up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the
Oh, yeah, I
recliner
hate
chairs.
sitting
You
in the
gotta.
front, dude. I hate sitting in the front.
Let's talk about the Emoji Movie for a little bit.
I hate that movie.
That's
The
not
what
to-
movie?
It's like
The Emoji Movie.
the worst
That movie
movie.
was trash.
The worst movie of all time. One of the worst movies of all time.
Yo.
My brother and a few of my friends, they went and they saw it, and for some reason the movie theater was packed. I don't know how that happened.
No, yeah, I was hearing that too. I was hearing that
Little
they were
kids.
packed.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean it's a little kids movie, but
yeah,
Well,
but
Peter Rabbit was packed too,
So-
but it was packed full of older
Peter
people
Rabbit.
just drinking
But so-
alcohol.
And it's,
But I mean-
it's because if one movie's sold out that they want to see, they'll just go be like, oh, we're already here, let's see another one.
but just like you, Robert, he had to sit in the very front row, and he had to like look up, just like at the screen while it
Yeah.
was like up there, and he was like in the corner looking up with like 3 other friends right there,
Oh my god.
and like he said like his neck hurted the whole time.
oh
Nah,
my
yeah.
yes, my neck was hurting.
And
like,
while watching the movie, he said
I hate sitting in the
almost
front.
nobody laughed at all during the movie. He said except for like one kid, but he only laughed for like a second. He was like, and then he just like stopped. And he said the rest of the time it was just completely silent in the
Just
movie theater.
silence. Oh my god.
It's like one of the worst movies.
When I watched Black Panther the other day, there was only one person in the entire theater who clapped, and it was a really good movie, but just no one wanted to clap. Everyone was just ready to get out.
Yeah, it
And
was like that when I went
It
to
was
go see
just
too.
hilarious.
Like,
It was so awkward.
completely clap. I didn't clap though. I mean, because I didn't want to do all that.
Yeah, it was so awkward because it wasn't just
Yeah.
like a whole lot of people. It was just one kid in the back who's sitting behind me. You just hear him going. No one else was clapping. You just hear this one guy,
That must have
and
been
everyone
so
looks
awkward
back
for
at him
him.
like,
Oh,
That
what
must
are
have
you
been
doing?
so awkward for him. That just
it's like you can just hear it slowly die down. Like,
yeah. Gotta get out of there.
oh
quick.
yeah. Speaking of
gotta
the
go.
Emoji movie, I mean, you can watch it on Netflix now. They have
Yeah.
it on Netflix.
What?
The
What?
Emoji
The
movie.
Emoji
Emoji
Movie.
Movie?
So
Yeah.
if,
It's on Netflix.
you know, in case
I
if
think
you
I'm gonna
wanna
watch it again today.
Yeah.
The Emoji
Yeah.
Movie?
I'm thinking
why
about
not?
watching it actually.
I am
I've
not
only
wast-
seen it once.
I am
and
not
it was-
wasting my time with that.
I just it was
I-
kind of one of those movies that you watch at the plain pace that
What
you
was
just watch
the,
and you just like.
What was the
I
point
mean,
of making
I
a movie
took-
about emojis? I don't,
It was just a Sony cash grab. They saw the success of Inside Out, and they're like, you know what? Let's like make a mixture of a few other movies, and we're just gonna put emojis on it. That's
Just
that's
throw in
what
a
I think.
casual trend of
Yeah.
emojis and just make it a
It's
thing.
not
Yeah.
okay. Emojis were trendy like 3 years ago. Not even 3 years, like 5 years ago when
Like
they
when
first
Kick-
started coming
when
out.
Kick was-
yeah,
when
it's
Kick
been out
was
for-
popping.
Exactly.
remember
Yeah.
Kick? I remember Kick. That was like 2013.
Bro,
Oh,
Kick
Kick.
was. If you didn't have Kick, you weren't cool.
Yeah.
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 And then when you're sad, you just change your profile picture to like a black screen and just put like a dot for your name. That's when people
Oh
are
my
sad.
gosh, I did that.
Yeah, that guy's sad. Yeah.
Oh, he's sad.
That
You
guy
get
said,
him.
let me
Dude,
message him.
I used to do
Dude,
that.
you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I used to
You
do
sure?
that. I'm not
I
gonna
don't
lie.
think so.
I used to
Yeah.
do that with a
Oh
kid.
my
Well,
god.
your profile picture's
I
black.
mean-
Don't be racist. Like
I mean, because now it's all about Snapchat. But I mean, that update.
Snapchat.
That update.
Snapchat's not even growing as popular anymore. No one's really asking
Yeah,
for like
I
snaps
don't-
and
I don't-
streaks anymore.
like
I mean,
the
they're all
update
starting to
that
die
much
down.
now.
And it's because of the update.
See, I don't.
whose
That
idea?
isn't that
Well, yeah,
bad.
yeah, I
Personally,
mean-
I don't dislike it. I
I
think
don't
people
know,
are
I-
just being over dramatic.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, you know, like at first when it first happened, I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell
Yeah.
is this? But
Yeah.
like, you know, I got used to it really quick.
But
I
now,
think it'd be
kinda used
easier to
to
get
it now,
used
though,
to if
but-
it was actually consistent.
now,
Yeah.
now that I'm thinking about this usually happens, like this like Kick. You know, it was like really popular. It died down. I think it's happening the same thing with Snapchat. It build up really big and then it died down, and now I'm wondering what's the next thing. I think maybe Vine 2.
Yeah.
That might be the next big thing.
If that happens and they ruin it, dude, I'm just gonna stick to watching my compilations on YouTube.
Yeah.
Same.
My
I
Vine
see
compilations from
anyone-
years ago that I
I used
still
to,
watch.
be honest, I
Yeah.
used to try to do Vines though. I was like
Oh
big
my
on.
God.
I tried it
I
for a
was
little
big
bit
on
and then I was
Vines.
done.
Don't
And
even,
I wanted
don't
to
even
do
get
it
me
so
started on
bad.
that, dude.
I wanted to do it so bad.
wanna know what
and
guy
I
I
was like
used to
so
be?
cringy.
You guys don't know what
I used to be the guy who did Musically.
No, I used to be the guys that used
Oh,
to. I used to be the guys that used to grind. You know, like those
Oh,
that
oh,
grinding
yeah,
movement. With
Oh
the,
god.
No.
oh man, but I mean,
Oh,
I was fit back then. Though. I was a football player and everything, so I was fit. You know, it worked out. But now, can't really do that now.
Now you can do a wave.
Oh.
I can do a wave now. I can do a wave.
Oh gosh, man. But if I look at if I had access to all my old Vines that I did, they were just so cringy.
Yeah.
Like back then, I used to think it was like so funny and
So
kinda cool.
smart. You're
Like,
like,
I
oh,
was like,
this is
is gonna be
amazing.
awesome, dude. And then I look at it now, and it's just.
Who let me?
I
do
mean,
that?
that's all of our past things.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to make Minecraft videos for YouTube.
Oh,
yes.
I haven't done that.
Who
I
is that
thought,
guy?
I thought you still do
You
it.
still do it.
Nah, I post little things of people cheating. I get
Oh.
people banned.
Hmm.
Alright,
He's
I
like-
don't sit there and make videos
Wait.
and go, hey, what's up, guys? Bryce here. Make sure to leave a like at the end of the video. You know, comment
no.
what factions do. No.
Wait, speaking of YouTube, like, since we're about to wrap it up at some point pretty soon, should we just plug all of our YouTube channels just like that?
Yes.
I have a YouTube channel, but I don't have no videos on it yet.
Oh,
I
with
have
your
a
5
YouTube channel.
subscribers?
I have 2.
With your 5 subscribers?
Huh?
5 subscribers?
No, I have like 12.
he almost said 4.
Wow.
Like
I have
12.
It's
12.
it's
How
about
about you, Ricardo? How many
the
you
same
got?
for me.
I don't have a YouTube channel yet. I'm
about
gonna
you,
start
Casey?
one. I'm gonna start.
It's about as big as Robert's, like
Parker?
Yeah, I got 18s, and then I have mine. I mean, I don't really post anything on my personal one except for like any video stuff I do on trips.
How many subscribers, though?
I used to have
On my
a gaming
personal,
channel.
I have like almost 40, and then
Delete
on the 18 one, I have about
'Cause I sounded horrible.
20. And most of it's people
60
from here.
subscribers in total.
All right,
Would you-
all right.
108.
Should we plug them now?
108.
108.
You're so cool.
It's still not bad. It's not it's terrible. It's actually terrible. It's literally nothing. That's
Yeah.
about a year of YouTube.
Okay, yeah, we could all like turn to our respective cameras.
Our main
Just
camera.
click the link in the top of the description.
So,
Yeah,
Parker's,
you guys
Parker's
can
camera
all look
dead
towards
out,
the main
so-
camera,
Just click the link.
and we could all plug them. Okay, Bryce, you want to go first?
Name
I want to go. Huh?
your YouTube channel.
YouTube
Oh.
channel.
Rogue Logic. If you can't spell rogue, just Google it.
Rogue
Logic.
No spaces.
Yeah.
Rogue
okay.
Logic, no spaces.
We'll put that in the edit. We'll have like
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just
Oh,
make
yeah.
Yeah.
them pop up right now.
Yeah.
it'll pop up. But
I'll
okay.
just turn around. and both of them
Ricardo.
pops
Oh wait, you don't have.
I don't
one.
have a YouTube
Okay.
channel yet.
Parker?
So-
But
Put N
So-
slash
Wait,
A.
okay, wait. Yeah.
y'all can follow me on Instagram and stuff.
No,
if y'all
my
want.
God.
Shouldn't we make a combined
my
YouTube
Inst-
channel for this
My
podcast?
I
Instagram.
mean, yeah, but I mean, we'll just
We'll
link
call it
our
AVP.
AVP. Yeah.
AVP.
My Instagram, it's awful Sando, but it's really my thing for everything, to be honest. But awful.sando on Instagram, if y'all want to do that.
All right.
Well, I mean, I don't have any videos yet, but you can subscribe at Kerr Productions. You know, I might have put a couple of short films on there. So,
Oh yeah,
but
we
just
we film
subscribe.
short films also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some short films and stuff that we work on as well. So.
Wait, Parker, did you already go?
No.
Oh, okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
My YouTubes will pop up here because I forgot the name. So let me go log in real quick.
I don't know if I-
Somewhere.
But you'll get to watch
it'll probably-
18.
It'll pop up
Somewhere.
somewhere right here.
it's like, I don't know.
My camera died.
Somewhere in this
Yeah,
area.
it died
Maybe
about
right
5 minutes
here.
in.
So yeah.
Actually, we don't even know. We couldn't really see it, so it could have died immediately. Yeah.
And then my Insta is p.b.n underscore.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
it's the Kermit the Frog picture if you need any help.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Jesus.
As far as my
Christ. Okay. I guess
Casey?
Click
guess
the link
I-
at the top of the description.
Did you just turn
I
my
am
microphone down?
Robert.
Yes, I
Kerr,
did.
KER. There you go.
'Cause I'm pretty sure.
Did you just turn my microphone down?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I could turn down
Yeah,
that
there
one
you
as
go.
well. Okay.
Turn it all down.
All right. My YouTube channel is Yep.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the name.
Yep.
And Rogue Logic. And Rogue Logit. Rogue Logit.
Rogue Loggy.
Roll log it.
That's
Logic.
his.
Log it.
Rogue
And,
Loggy.
well, if I no, I probably can't do annotations in the middle. I can only do it at 20 seconds at the end, but they'll all be in the description whenever we do that. And hopefully this is edited, and I did all the sound and everything's mixed correctly. But yeah, I think that is the end
That's
of
the end.
end of Awful Visuals podcast, episode 1, with our guest Parker
Nielsen.
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 Uh,
Nielsen with an
Parker
I.
Nielsen.
Ricardo Sandoval,
Awful Sando.
Awful Sando, Robert Kerr, you have a just Rob,
Mike.
and
Rob.
and Bryce. Bryce.
It's just
All right.
Bryce. Bryce.
I think
Alright,
that's the end. So
That's the end. No outros.
Cool. Thanks for having me. Bye.
We just walk out. Okay. That's our outro. We just walk out. We walk out.
That was was fun, guys. I had fun. Thanks for having me.
You don't have to go around now.
They
You can
never
just.
die too.
We're gonna open this up.
Doesn't matter. No one's standing
Yeah,
here. So.
just.
Alright. So that's like, oh, we did it like, now I gotta do the actual podcast someday, dude. Like the.
I don't know if this camera's